So I finally got it working. All I was waiting for was for this wheel, actually this wheel, to come in and put it on. I thought it was going to be a simple little job, but it didn't quite go as planned. So I'll show you what I went through to reach this point. Alright, I'll jump in here and let you know what started to go wrong. First I drilled a hole in the assembly arm with a drill that's too big for the hole. I must have grabbed a 14mm bit. That was the start of the issues. Here you see me cutting a sleeve to go over the bolt to allow spacing between the wheel and the assembly arm, and a pipe cutter does a great job of cutting it nice and smooth. So after bolting on the wheel, I noticed how out of square it was to the other wheels. I don't show it here, but I thought I got around it by putting in a sleeve to tighten it up, and to some degree it worked out okay, but here you see it's still a bit off. It is much better, but still a bit out. Here you see me trying to sort out how to reduce the forward backwards movement in the magnet face on the angle bar. So knowing there should be some adjustment in it, I tried to adjust it without researching how this is done. My usual lack of patience got the better of me again, and you can see me trying to force it round. Of course this wasn't going to work, so I just sort of carried on thinking it would be okay. So I bolted it all back on and trued up the wheel to the magnet face, hoping to play I hadn't, it wouldn't affect it too much. And then right on to testing it on a piece of mild steel. Believe it or not, I got within 0.2 of a millimetre end to end. Quite impressive actually, for something as sloppy as my old hat. But you can see here, I think you can just see this, I'm getting tiny ripples in the steel. It doesn't show up much on camera, but it was very noticeable, something I couldn't accept. So I carried on using finer and finer grits to get the ripples out, but to no avail. So I got to a point, it was quite late, and I thought I'd sleep on it. And then in the morning, the only thing I could really try was going back to the 50mm wide wheel, and lo and behold, the results were better right away. And you can see here that, you know, I used a finer grit on there. It's not perfect in this case, but I was more interested in getting the ripples out, which I did. So it was really quite good. So off camera, I got another piece of 30mm assembly arm and drilled an accurate hole to take the 10mm bolt which this wheel needs. Once I did that and drilled up the magnet face to the smaller wheel, the results were great. At least good enough for now. So now I talk more about the 75mm wheel that I've really abandoned. Alright, so that's what I went through before I reached this point here. You notice, obviously, that I'm not using the 75mm wheel. So after waiting all that time for it to come in, I really couldn't get it working without these little ripples showing up in the grind. I just know that the 75mm wheel was causing it. Now I've tested this and it seems to be running very well, and as true as this one here. But for whatever reason, whenever I put this wheel on, I get those ripples in the grind. So I've abandoned that and I've gone to this. What it meant, I didn't film any of this because it took me a long time to get it right, but what it meant is I had to re-true, once putting this back on, I had to true this side up again, this aluminium face. I had to true that to the wheel so that they're perfectly parallel. I also found out that the movement that I had in there, in this sliding table, could be adjusted. So this here is the back of the bearing, and you might not be able to pick it up on camera, but they're offset, they're not in the center, and the reason for that is so that you can adjust them. And so what you have to do is you have to take the bearing off the front, you have to unscrew the Allen keys that are holding this in tight, and then you rotate this bearing until it tightens up on this roller guide. So once doing that, this then became a lot more stable. Like, there's very little movement in it now, which I'm really pleased about. Okay, so I've got this piece here I've just snipped off. So 3.36, between 3.35 and 3.4. Okay. Three point 3.47, 3.48. So that's it, guys. The build's done and the testing's done, and the results seem to be pretty damn good. As you saw, I got 0.05 of a millimetre front to back on this piece. It's only a couple of 100 mils long, but signs are good. Certainly a lot more accurate than putting this on the old magnet and going up and down with platen. So I particularly built this for building friction folders. I've got a great idea for some designs coming up. So if you want to see this in action and you want to see me build some friction folders, subscribe and then you won't miss out. And I want to say a special thanks to the most recent subscribers that have joined the channel. And I think I'm up to 138 subscribers now. 200 doesn't seem so far away now, and there'll be another giveaway at 200. Once again, thanks for watching. I'm out here in sunny Western Australia, out on the west coast. I will see you again very soon.